Big news. Charlie Sheen got his nuts cut off.
You should be munching on chicken wings. You should eat half of the bone on the way out.
Who wins in a fight? Jason Bourne or John Wick?
Bobby, you thought Hanson was girls?
I sure did.
Did you have a crush on one of them?
Here we go. Hey, hold my beer.
Primal Beef Jerky is a sponsor of the Chubby Buddies podcast, and they have reached out to us to spread to you. And that is by being a sponsor of the Chubby Buddies podcast. They've given us the pleasure of giving you a discount code by visiting www.feedonprimal.com and using, hey, Daniel, do you remember what the promo code is? For 15% off your order.
On you.
Chubby.
That's CHUBBY for 15% off your entire order. So that means that if you are not in any of the 5 states or 400 plus locations that they are sold in, that means you just need to go to the website and you will still be able to pick from all 6 of their flavors. They just got done with the fair, so I'm sure that they're probably low in stock on some flavors, but who knows? They will get right back at you. And if they don't, they will send you an email, or if you're on Facebook, they will send you a message there to let you know that your order is either back ordered and they're waiting on shipment. But all you have to do is go to www.feedonprimal.com and use promo code Chubby at checkout. And if you reach the $50 cap, that is an additional 15% off. So therefore, you get free shipping. 15% off is what, Josh, the math wizard?
15% off of what? 50?
What do you get? A free bag of beef jerky.
A free bag of beef jerky. Sorry, I was not ready. I thought you actually wanted me to do math.
No.
Yeah,
this
free
is
bag of beef jerky, dude. Free bag of beef jerky. That's what it equals out to.
If you reach the $50 cap and you use the code, that's Primal Beef Jerky. Welcome back to another episode of the Chubby Buddies podcast. Your one-stop shop for unsolicited opinions, warm toilet seats, and what else? Explicit snacking. Oh, and plus ones. We do have our plus one back for the first time since back in April, I believe it was.
Let's go.
I think it was April. No, it was before the draft, so it might have even been March. I'm just saying.
We have missed our plus one. We got to admit it.
The plus one has missed you guys.
Oh.
Well, since this is your first day back, how have you been, Daniel? Leroy?
Yeah. Fill us in, my guy.
I've been all right. Been really busy, as you guys obviously know. Had an eventful weekend. I don't know if y'all are wondering my shirt, but this Sunday I got a new tattoo.
Oh, ooh! I like
Gyarados,
that.
the Pokemon.
Gyarados. Casey is going to flip when he sees that, dude.
And
he is going to love it.
And then I got one a couple weeks ago of my kids' birthdays in the text font from Crash Bandicoot, the countdown timer.
Cool. Yeah.
So
that's so fun.
I'm currently working on a sleeve over here. So that's been a fun but painful time.
I bet.
I sat for 5 hours on Sunday, and I was in pretty excruciating pain. Yeah, right here
how
is
was
probably
that? Because Bobby, you've got your your toxic logo.
It's much older.
Hurts significantly worse.
It didn't hurt. Elbow ones.
Right here.
It didn't hurt.
It
didn't hurt.
Oh, you're crazy.
All it did was make me kind of look like Helen Keller doing this weird stuff.
No. I was in so much pain. You're crazier than hell if you think that didn't hurt.
No, the only thing painful for mine was me staying in one spot forever. Like, there was no pain whatsoever.
The elbow doesn't hurt. This hurts.
Yeah, it didn't hurt me at all. Like, I see that. Yeah. But mine's also not very much on there.
You're about a crazy person if you think it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt. But literally, my hands were just doing this the whole time. But I had to move different directions.
How that happened 5 hours in. So
yeah, 5.5 for me.
My skin was about ready to be done at that point.
Oh, sure.
And
Anybody
hopefully I can
would
get
be
back
wore
in
out
and
after 5 hours.
hopefully I can get back in and get some more stuff done. I got a lot of plans for it. It's my good old nerdy tattoo sleeve is what I'm going for here, so it's going to be fun. But other than that, I've just been super busy with ACW, with work, with everything life's bringing. We had the fair recently. It seems like there's always another event happening or there's always something happening. So it's just been a busy time. And then, as y'all know, I had a family tragedy in April that kind of set me back a little bit. And so it's been an eventful, trying time, but I'm very excited to be here and recording with you guys today. It's super exciting.
Yeah, randomly send him a message and he's like, "What?" Because normally I don't think we've ever recorded on a Tuesday, have we?
I think one time we recorded on a Tuesday, and it was for reasons like this. We had something come up, and it was either that or miss the week, and we were like, no, we don't want to miss the week. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad y'all are recording today. I
Heck
wouldn't have
yeah,
made it
dude.
Sunday. I wouldn't have made it Saturday. I wouldn't have made it Friday. But it just so happens that I can make it on a Tuesday.
Well, there we
I
go.
love it.
We'll note
Well,
that.
I apologize if the camera keeps moving. It's my dogs. They keep forcing their way in, like next to they want to be close to me, and so like they keep forcing their way next to the table and then bumping the table, and the table's on wheels. So if you see it go scooting sideways, that's because of the dogs.
Josh didn't get a tattoo, but he had an eventful week
Oh
since we last
man, I
talked.
had a great week.
It was a week,
Oh
10 days since we talked last.
man, had a great week. So we spent the last week down in Florida on vacation. Yes,
If you
sir.
didn't watch Miami Dolphins, you failed at vacation.
Oh man, it was great. We watched Kansas City beat Jacksonville. That felt really good.
Only in the second half it felt good.
Yeah, that's fair. Here's the thing. I'm sure we're not ready to get on to sports yet, but I have some theories when it comes to Juwan Taylor and his snap timing that I'm not so confident that it's illegal. I don't think he's jumping, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get back to sports because I got some.
Yeah, we'll get back
Chiefs
to that. Yeah, we all got
for you.
all sorts of stuff we want to talk about.
Tell me about that steak you had. What place was that at?
Okay, this restaurant I checked out. We went twice. It was so good. I had to go back. Okay, it is called Seed to Table. Okay, hands down the best place, like the best steak I've ever had, and just cooked bare minimum simplicity, salt, pepper, cooked on a grill.
That's all I put on it.
And here's the thing, though. The place is called Seed to Table. It is
because they grow their own food.
It is a farm to restaurant concept. So the inside is dining. The outside is grocery. Dog, stop. Get over here, Charlie. Lay up on the couch and lay still. You're a pain in the butt. Lay down. Don't kiss me like you love me. Lay down. All right. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were saying grocery is where you ended.
Yes. So inside is dining, like the middle section. It's 2 floors, and the middle section and the upstairs is all dining. You've also got, like, on Fridays and Saturdays, they've got live music. They've got a band there. Then the outside is all grocery, like fresh groceries, fresh produce, fresh everything, man. Onions, tomatoes, potatoes, and priced as competitively as Walmart. Like, not overpriced. Like, very well priced. Then the back wall is all fresh seafood and fresh steak, which you can go over there, select your cut. They wrap it for you. Then you walk it 50 feet down and hand it over to the staff, and they cook it right there for the price of that meat.
My kind of place.
It was $20 per pound for prime ribeye. It was on sale, so normally $32 a pound, but it's $20
So
a pound for prime
would
ribeye.
you
So the
go
picture that
there?
I took,
Like,
that's on my socials, is a 1
right.
pound prime ribeye steak that I paid $22 for, and it was another $7 for a loaded baked potato alongside it.
So would you compare them to Fogo de Chao at all? Like for the,
Yeah,
I'm saying for the
so we
quality.
did Fogo, and here's what I'd say: it is that quality of meat, easy. It's the perk to it was it wasn't coming at me so fast I was getting the meat sweats, but it was like perfectly cooked. It was amazing. Really
I
well
would have
done.
loved it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is it wasn't just, so that was mine. Heather had homemade, had a handmade stir fry. So she paid like $16 and went over to the front of the counter, and the guy asked her everything she wanted. She could do chicken, steak, shrimp, any combination of that. There was, gosh, I want to say at least 10 different fresh vegetables. And then 5 different sauce options. No, it was over a dozen fresh vegetables, and she got all of them. And then she got General Tso's sauce, and so the whole thing plated over rice, and it was easy. This massive, just full. Said it was the best Chinese she's ever had.
I mean, the steak looked phenomenal. That's why I had to ask about it.
Yeah, steak was amazing, dude. It was the again, the best steak I've ever had, and I don't say that lightly.
I don't have any
In
trips
fact,
planned.
I called my buddy out because he's the one that recommended it, and he said his was the best he had ever had, and I was like, dude, it can't be that good. And then after I had it, I was like, you undersold it. You didn't like hype it enough. It was good. It's so good. Very fresh. I mean, you got to wait for it. It took 45 minutes for my steak, but bro, worth it. Worth it. Bro, they cook it well. Like I had mine medium well, so it was perfectly tender. No, not medium rare, medium well. Which I like medium to medium well, but I think if you can do it just right, medium well is the sweet spot.
No.
Because it's good. Yeah. Here's why I say that.
Medium
is it. But here's the thing. Medium is a little too undercooked sometimes. I don't
Not by
trust
a good cook.
That's the problem. Most cooks don't get it to medium. They get it medium rare and leave it there.
Medium rare is way better than medium well.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I will take medium well over
medium rare. I will take medium well over medium rare.
I'm taking medium rare over anything but medium.
I would challenge
I'm choosing
you
medium,
to
hoping
have
they
medium
undercook it
rare.
just a little bit.
See, I'm choosing medium well, hoping they undercook it just a little bit.
Most people want medium rare. Like, it's probably like a 80 to 20 versus everything else. Medium rare is the most loved steak.
Well, feel free to call me odd duck out. I'm a lefty anyway, so I'm used to being
also
the
don't
odd
like
man
chicken
out.
on the bone.
I like chicken on the bone. I don't like my teeth touching the bone. If my teeth touch the bone, I lose my appetite.
What?
Yeah, that's what it is.
How do you eat chicken wings? Like, you gotta like bite the whole son bitch up, like take the whole chicken.
I bite where the meaty parts are, and then I just pluck the meat off.
You're wasting chicken wings. You're wasting chicken wings.
I don't care about the fat and the tendons around.
You're not fat.
No, thank you. No, I know it. Like I am picky about texture. I'm slightly on the spectrum, I'm certain, because I have a thing about textures when it comes to food, and if food does not have the right texture, it throws me off.
It does me too. but bones aren't the wrong texture.
Bones are the wrong texture for
If
what
you
I'm
bite it-
eating. That's the point, dummy.
Don't bite it.
That's why I don't
Easy.
like it.
Just take it off the bone by scraping the bone with your teeth.
How is that better?
You're not
You
biting
need
is
to
it.
it better?
scream, Josh.
Yes, it's extended biting. What do you think scraping is? An extended bite. You're literally
No.
biting it down the length. Ugh.
Oh,
That's the awful part. Ugh. You're gonna make me gag. Ugh.
What a wild one.
you must not like the Liver King, huh? And his bone
The
marrow.
Liver
The
King?
what?
No.
The Liver
The
King?
Liver King, the guy that lied about being on steroids, and
Yeah, the
turns
dude,
out he was always on steroids.
the dude that's like super jacked and eats like raw meats and stuff and
Walks
thinks
around
he's
with his shirt
primal and yeah,
Bites
it's-
into a
Ugh.
liver and pours the liver like acid or bile over all of his food, and then eats like animal balls raw.
I know nothing about this dude.
you have to look Liver King up. He's about the
Do I
I'll
have
just
mean,
send
to?
it there.
He's definitely entertaining. I mean, I'll give him that,
Oh.
but that's it. I mean, I could have told you he was on the juice like a mile away.
He's bullshitting too damn much.
Oh yeah. But speaking of balls, big news. Charlie Sheen
Big
got his
news.
nuts cut off.
Hey, bye, Charlie. Hello, Charles.
Not the real Charlie Sheen, Joshua. Or
I know.
Daniel, my bad. Well, Daniel wasn't here, so
Oh, well, you said Joshua, so that's why I responded.
I'm used to just Joshua being in here, so
I know.
but no. But he got his nuts
It's
cut
nice
off.
to have a +1.
Yes.
So tell
But
us
he got his
about
nuts cut
Charlie's
off.
nuts.
Oh, nothing's changed. Not a damn thing has changed. The only thing that has changed is that he's not humping because like he's got this cone on his neck. That's about it. So it's awkward. But
You
I'm sure
gotta-
that if he could, he would.
You got to give the testosterone time to burn itself out. And then he mellows out. Castle had his 4 months ago now? 3 months ago? And he's finally started to mellow out. He still wrestles like crazy, but he doesn't hump as much.
Well, this dog
So-
like gets random bursts of like energy
Should I
and
show
just
him?
starts. What do they call that? No,
Here,
don't show
y'all
it.
really like medium rare? Does this look good to you then?
I like medium rare over medium well.
Can you see that? That's
That's
roast
rare.
beef.
Yeah.
That's rare.
That is medium rare.
No, that's medium
And that
rare.
was
That's
a
fucking
restaurant-
delicious.
That was a restaurant called Kelly's. It was roast beef, medium rare roast beef with mayonnaise, cheese, and barbecue sauce.
That would be delicious minus the mayonnaise.
And the
It
barbecue.
was
No. Barbecue.
I don't put
sauce.
no sauce on my meats, man. That's just not normal.
interesting. Let me put it that way.
Medium rare prime rib. Fantastic.
It felt like I was chewing zombie meat. Like it was
Damn
gross.
good.
All right, we need to get off this
Texture
subject.
was so gross.
Josh
Well,
is
hey,
I
pissing
took
me
a
off.
bite into it. It was
Josh,
like,
you need to change your mic settings because you
Oh.
were like peaking like no other.
What
But
we need to
anyway.
do is get rid of the chubby part of this because ain't no way but this motherfucker's chubby if he eats weird shit. Don't like chicken wings?
how dare
Get outta
you?
here. You should be
How-
munching on chicken wings like you should
Bro,
eat half of
He
the
don't
bone on the way out.
He
All
gets
right.
the chicken
Don't-
nuggets and not the wings. The
I was
boneless.
gonna say, don't
yeah.
judge me on that. I get boneless.
He's a
To
chicken.
be
nugget.
clear, I
get the
make
nuggets.
boneless.
That's
No, I
chicken
take
nuggets.
chicken breast. I chop them up, and then I coat them, and I
So you
I
make
make
homemade
them my
chicken
own.
nuggets.
Yeah, chicken nuggets. That's
Yeah.
not chicken wing.
I know.
And medium well steak.
But speaking of all this
Blasphemy.
food, I got to shout
Bro,
out the Recess Ruckus.
You can be a snob.
Joshua
all
David
you want.
Miller,
Why
a
are you
snob?
yelling at me?
because you're yelling. Every time you yell, you peak.
I'm turning my mic down, and you keep turning it up.
I haven't touched it.
He said-
I turned it down. Can you hear me right now?
I haven't touched it
How's this? Is this too loud?
right
Scream.
now. But like when you get excited is when you do it.
Right, but if I get excited like this, is it too loud?
That's good.
Because
That's
I
good.
capped it.
No.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
perfect.
Good shit, Josh. Now let's talk about something else other than chicken wings, because Josh don't eat chicken wings.
I don't.
Well, I do want
don't eat
to. I
chicken
do
on
want
a
to
bone.
promo what we had on the Recess Ruckus, Joshua. I think you would like it if you
dude.
watch the episode.
I want to hear about
Jack Stats
I
Eats.
saw your post.
Jack
Yeah.
Stacks Eats. He's a local food reviewer, vlogger of Wichita, Kansas. He was on the episode that released today. It'll be Tuesday for people that listen to this now, but he was on. I think you'll like it. I mean, we'd never met each other. I thought he was going to tell me he was 22 years old, but it turns out he's 35. So we were on the same page.
Very
And
nice.
We had a great time. But
That's
I think you
awesome.
dig it because you being a youth minister, I think you take I guess pride in like people that take pride in their religion and stuff like that. And that's what he does. Every video that he starts off with is right before he eats, he has a prayer and it's "Amen, let's dig in," and that's his tag. So
That's awesome. I like that.
you should check him out.
Amen. Let's dig in. That's cool. I will.
Yeah. So shout out Jack Stacks Eats, and then we just had a pretty large follower come onto our Facebook page. Wichita Eats by EB or Wichita by EB. He's like the largest food reviewer in Wichita.
Cool.
He liked our page, so shout out Wichita by EB. Anything else exciting this week? I mean, I don't have anything other than that episode, and then my dog's nuts got cut off. That's about it. So here's a friendly debate that I want to start this off with.
Okay.
Do you either of you? I don't know if me and Josh are both married to crafty women. Like they make their like DIY home like crap and stuff like that. Okay, I don't want to call it crap because some of it is pretty cool and it is art. But my wife makes things from trash and turns it into like decoration, right? Daniel, does your wife do this at all?
I wouldn't say she uses trash.
No, I'm just saying it's normally other people's junk. Like it's like nothing that nobody would think would like. Right now, my wife has a half moon window that was the original window in our house, and she turned it into like a picture holder.
So Reagan will go buy things to make something. Right?
Yeah.
Like recently, she went and bought a IKEA greenhouse type thing. It's like this. It's roughly
like a tent.
It's roughly 16, 18 inches wide. And it's all glass with obviously the framing for the glass. And then at the front, it's built like diagonal like this, and the front can open. And it's like a little mini greenhouse deal.
For like herbs and stuff?
Whatever, I don't know. But she turned it into a terrarium. So she went and bought hot glue, and she went and bought foam. She turned it into a terrarium, like got moss on everything. So she does stuff like that, especially when it comes to plants. So Reagan does a lot with plants. So it's really cool. So things like that she does. But I wouldn't say she uses like just random things to make stuff out of it, really.
But sounds like she is crafty.
Yeah, she will improvise something if she gets something, right?
Cool.
She'll improvise it and make it into something. She's a crafty
improviser.
So that's a crafter. Okay. That's where I was going with that. And that's all I wanted to know. I just wasn't sure if you were in the same boat that Josh and I were, because Josh's wife, didn't she try to do doesn't she still do like t-shirts and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Like she's still always doing stuff like that.
And my wife does Cricut type stuff also. Like, do you guys have a Cricut, Daniel? Like where the iron on like decals and stuff like that for shirts? Well, Jamie, she'll make like tree ornaments and stuff like that. But where I'm going with this, my wife is a big holiday crafty individual. Like everything's like whatever holiday it is, she's trying to plan ahead. I want to know if you guys have a rule for the Christmas tree. Like I have rules. Like my rule is that if it's not before Thanksgiving, or if she wants to put it up before Thanksgiving, she's doing all the work. She's getting it out of the garage. She's putting the tree up. She's putting all the ornaments on it. I have no part in it whatsoever. Now, if it's after Thanksgiving, I've told her that I'll be more than happy to help you. That's my rule. That's where I put my foot down, because I don't want to see a Christmas tree for more than a month. How do you guys feel?
My Christmas tree goes up so early every single year, and I will do all the work except for decorate it. That's the kid's job, not mine.
I'm also with Daniel in this one. Christmas tree goes up November 1st.
Yeah, it's gonna go up here.
I used to fight this battle. I used to say Thanksgiving. Then it moved to my birthday, which is the 19th. Then it
Try
moved
Halloween.
to November 1st because Halloween is currently where we stand. Here's the problem. She's now started to move the other direction. She's now talking about keeping the tree up for Easter. That's
so
the
like a
nonsense
seasonal
I'm having
tree.
to deal with. Yeah, she wants to just keep a tree
Ugh.
up and change the decorations all the time. And I was like, no, we ain't getting to that level. So
Trees are
that's
meant
the
to be
current
outside for a
battle
reason.
that I am fighting.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
like-
care when the Christmas tree comes up. I would be pissed if it was up before Halloween. But Reagan loves Halloween. It's her favorite holiday. So she's not going to do that. So I don't have to worry about that. Other than that, I don't care.
This is
I don't
like
care.
the 31st or like the day after, like November 1st, that the tree is being pulled out of the garage. And like
Yeah,
I said
that's-
before, I've put my foot down and I've said, if it's before Thanksgiving, all you, honey, all you.
I don't. Like I said, I don't give a damn.
I don't want to do all of that, like, because then she wants to take it down on Christmas night. It's like, what, you wanted it up 2 months early from like me to help you take it down on the night of Christmas. Like, no.
No, you don't
Not
take
gonna
it
happen.
down Christmas night. You take it down
She does, because she's tired of
before
looking at it. But she
New
didn't
Year's
take
Eve.
me into effect.
Before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Well,
It's got to
usually,
be down before the new year.
I like to have it down before my birthday, which is the 30th. But
Oh, yeah,
that doesn't
that's
always
smart.
happen. I feel like every year we pull it down in February.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's the ideal, and then there's the reality, because, yeah, it doesn't actually come down until mid-January, early February, sometime around there.
Well, I have a buddy that I follow on Facebook, and he's actually going to be on the Recess Ruckus one of these days, like within the next week or two. His wife put up a tree just like Heather wants to, and is now seasonal.
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
do
I
not
mean,
tell Heather about this episode. She's not allowed to watch this one.
well,
Don't tell her I said that
she
either.
did. I mean, I love both of them, but like, I like he puts on his Facebook page. He's like, if you can see it, say I see it, and I put it. I was like, I refuse to see it. I don't want a tree in my living room for that long. Like, that's just insane. I already can't put like
No,
two
thanks.
recliners out there.
No, thank you.
I just didn't know if I was the only one that had that issue. But like I said, Josh's wife I knew was crafty, so I assumed that she was the same way. So she's got to put up decorations a month and a half, 2 months in advance. So I didn't know if
Very
Daniel,
much so.
since these are +1, if you also had that problem. Now, Christine, like if Jordan was here, I have a feeling that Jordan's just going to say, she used to do whatever she wants.
I have a feeling that Jordan is the one that puts the tree up.
I have a feeling that Jordan
I feel
brings
like
it in, but the
Christine probably
girls
don't-
do all the decorating. No, Christine's pretty handy. Like she
Oh, yeah.
built like
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
she
she's
built
busy.
like a whole fireplace.
But
Yeah,
she's like busy.
Yeah,
so
but
like
she's
Right.
got
she's probably just leaving that to Jordan.
That woman's an Energizer bunny. She never quits.
yeah.
I want to
just-
know. I really want to know if Jordan has to initiate the
curious,
Christmas
too.
tree going up.
Jordan, leave it in
We
the
need to
comments
hear
since
it,
you're not
Jordan.
here. Let us know who puts the tree up
Or
and when
Christine,
it goes up.
if you want to chime in, we'll take your words on it.
Yeah, Christine. But
We'd love
if
to
you
hear
guys
your
have a rule
perspective
or not?
anyways.
If you guys have a rule or not, we would like to know it, because I've got, okay, let's not say it's a rule. I have,
A
what's a better
guideline.
way of saying a rule? A guideline. It's like, I didn't normally celebrate Christmas anyway. Like,
How
that just wasn't
hardcore
like,
do you enforce that guideline?
no, well, that's the thing
Are
though.
you
I don't,
pretty
it's not,
adamant that you won't
no,
help
my rule-
until after?
Yep. 2 years
Okay.
in a row, baby.
So you
2 years
enforce
in a row.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All
That's
right.
like, if she wants it up that, like I said it, like I prefaced with it, and I said, this is how it's going to be. If you want it up before this day, good luck, because the only thing I'm going to do is open that padlock and close the door. That's about it. And she does it.
Well,
I mean,
more power to her.
well, why don't we get into the draft that way? Because that's going to take a little bit of time, but not too much.
Yeah. I like it.
We haven't done a draft in a minute.
I know.
I can't even think of enough things.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm
you will.
already
Once
thinking of
you
one.
start
I've
hearing
got
some,
my
I'm pretty
top
sure you
one.
will.
I've got my top one.
once Daniel starts hearing them, I'm sure
As I
that
said,
he'll
I
be able
think
to
Daniel should
kind of.
go first, just so that he doesn't have to be afraid that we're going to take his number one.
I'm not going to take it. I'm sure I'm not going to. All right, Daniel, you'll be number 1. Josh, you want to be number 2? Or you want to be number 3?
Sure, I'll be number 2.
Which one? All right, I'll go number 3, and then 4, and then Daniel, you'll have a double dose there at the end. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Draft is things we wish we were still around when we were kids,
Mm-hmm.
or
From
like
our
things
childhood.
that we used to from our childhood, and they didn't even need to be anything that we've ever had. So like if we wanted it, we could put it down.
Cool.
You ready, Daniel?
Yes.
We already know you're number 1. Go ahead.
Merry-go-rounds at all the parks. The best thing ever. Merry-go-rounds.
To throw up on.
I fell
Josh,
off of them many of times.
Oh yeah. Commerce Gardens. Remember
What?
Commerce Gardens? The merry-go-round at Commerce Gardens?
Oh yeah, the merry-go-round at Commerce Gardens. We could get that
It's
thing
still there.
spinning.
Still there.
Really?
Yeah. All right, Josh, what's your number 1?
Okay. I don't. This one's tough to describe, but it's in the same vein as what Daniel said. It's a wheel barrel, and if you've ever
the
been,
wooden ones.
yeah, the wooden one.
There's like a hamster wheel, but for humans.
Yes, it's like a hamster wheel for humans,
And it's like a whiskey barrel.
Yes. So that thing, the barrel,
That's a lot of work.
It was so much fun though. I used to love getting on that thing and getting a couple of kids going, and you could really get it going. The problem was,
and now you could probably stand in there and like go all the way around holding yourself up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the funny thing is that game quickly became a game of Survivor, because now once y'all got it going, then it was who's gonna stay up before the thing, because that's why the thing got taken out, was because we would get it going so fast, and then somebody would finally fall, and then it's
an
just
opposite direction merry-go-round
after that. Oh, it's so crazy.
That's what it is without the bars. It's an opposite direction merry-go-round without bars. And if the other person's taller than you, you're done. Round 1, TKO, done. Or KO, whatever. All right, my number 1 is something that like you can still buy these, but it's not the OG of them, if that makes any sense. And my number 1 is starter pullover jackets. The OG starter.
I would never want one of those in my life.
Oh, they were so awesome with the front pocket. I love them.
Get that Walmart starter jacket going again.
Well, I loved mine. The only thing I didn't like about them is that if you had a white color in your team, so like I had the Dallas Cowboys one, and like the wrists would always get dirty because of the type of like fabric that it was. It was almost like a windbreaker. But I still would like you can buy them now, but they're $180. Like I could swear. What?
Side note to that, can we talk about the fact that brands like Starter and Champion, which were Walmart brands when we were kids, are now like exclusive
Champion
Walmart brands now? Champion's a big deal now.
Champion is.
Champion and Starter
really
were both Walmart brands when we were
Starter
kids.
Still is. Starter
and they
still
are
sold
both
it.
now like higher end brands. I
mean,
don't know if Starter still sold it. Walmart.
They're selling Polo in Walmart. So who knows? Maybe Walmart's the big name.
Well, Walmart's got FUBU shoes. FUBU shoes now. That's weird. Yeah. That was a big brand when I was a kid, and now it's Walmart.
That is weird.
See, I could see Walmart bringing back Jinkos.
Oh. Please give me some Jinkos.
No. Oh,
my number 2. No. My number 2. Pogs. I had a legit Pog collection. The only thing I was lacking, I couldn't show muscle in, was a Slammer pack, right? Mainly because I was poor, but I didn't have a very good Slammer collection. But my original Pog collections were legit.
What is that?
The Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Pogs. Damn.
What is that? Oh, yes. Your coin? Yeah, the coin looked like the coins.
Pogs were the marbles. Pogs were like the marbles of the 90s.
Yeah, Pogs were marbles of our generation. It's a flat coin that had a design on either side, and you would smash them and try to collect them. I don't
and
even
you
remember
try
what
to
it
knock
was.
it. Well, you try to knock the stack down like with the slammer, right? So like the
Yeah.
bigger the stack, the easier it was to knock the whole thing down. And if you cleared the whole thing, kind of like
You got to keep them.
Jenga, you got to keep that whole stack with your your slammer and everything.
So it was
But
like
if you used a slammer,
it was part game, part trading.
yeah.
It
So
was
if you
cool,
used a
man.
slammer and you didn't knock that thing down, but somebody else came in with their slammer and did, they got your slammer. And I only had like 2.
No, I don't remember
Yeah.
you ever getting people slammers.
I lost mine.
I never battled for my slammer.
Y'all were fucking pink slip battling with your pogs, bruh.
Bro, not with
But
my slammers though. My
marbles,
slammer,
like that's what I can think of when I think of pogs, is like marbles of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like marbles
absolutely.
were like where you flick them and you try to knock them around and stuff like that.
Yeah, for
All right,
sure.
Josh, you're number 2.
Okay, my number 2. Oh gosh. So this is not an item, but more so a TV show that I wish was back. Are you ready?
Ooh.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Ooh. I thought they did bring that back.
They
Don't
may
know
have
what it
for a
is.
season. Okay, so it was the coolest game show for kids, right? It was on Nickelodeon, and the way it worked is there were 8 teams of 2. Okay, 8 teams of 2. They all had different animals that were their mascots, and you competed against each other in these competitions, and it whittled its way down to 3 teams. The final 3 teams always competed in the same, like, 2-dimensional maze that was a 2-level maze. So, like, you had to run across it. Sometimes it might require you to climb up and through or back down. And so it was just super interactive, and it was a puzzle solving game, but it was so much fun, and it was a timed battle. And I just remember, like, they would always run promos, like kids could win like Skechers shoes and vacations to Disney World and stuff like that. I
It
just
was
thought it
definitely
was
a rich kid thing.
it was the funnest show in the world, and I always thought it would be such a blast to play on it. So Legends of the Hidden Temple, I think, would be just a blast to have back. So there you go.
Daniel's
Wow.
number 2.
Before we move on to my number 2, can we talk about the difference in 3 and 3? Because this 3 drives me nuts. This 3 drives me insane.
This is uncomfortable to me, so I like doing this one more.
I feel like I'm like
this is uncomfortable.
This would have to be 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
You have to go 1, 2, 3. That's weird. Yeah. All right, moving on. I'm going with Hastings to ruin all your days. Hastings. We need Hastings.
Nationwide, so I don't think a lot of
No, but those in our neck of the woods knows how great Hastings
Oklahoma
was.
and Kansas, I think.
And to then follow up so that y'all can't catch up, I'm going Blockbuster as number 2.
Okay, I will give you Blockbuster on a Friday night, but here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to counter that with Blockbuster prices. Did you forget?
I don't care. I didn't have to pay for it.
$7.99 for a new release.
A rental game for 3 days was not enough.
No, I used to
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't want to say that.
You're number 3, Josh.
Oh, that's a great call. We should totally talk about would be a great thing to come back. No, I didn't even have that. Oh, hold up, though. I want this back. Well, it kind of is back, but not in the same way. Sega Channel.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ever have that. Sega Channel.
I had it. It was so much fun, dude. Sega Channel was cool.
My number 3, you couldn't buy this either. This was almost like a TV show. That is VH1's pop-up video.
Oh, bro. Yes.
Can we just have a channel of real music videos? Like, I liked learning that Hanson was an all-boy band and not a girl band by VH1's pop-up video.
Bobby, you thought Hanson was girls?
I sure did.
Did you have a crush on one of them?
I can neither confirm or deny.
What?
Oh, yeah. Loving this.
Number 4. Moving on.
Moving on.
Number 4, moving on, is the Easy Bake Oven for boys, and that is the Creepy Crawlers Workshop.
Yes. Oh man, the coolest little snacks out of that thing. Get little bug worms, like gummies and stuff like that. Heck
Yeah, it was the Easy Bake Oven of boys.
That was
like
so
it was
cool.
legit.
Half of the things y'all are talking about, I don't remember. Y'all are old.
Yeah, we
Shut
are.
up. Josh,
We
what's
are.
your number 4?
What did you say for your number 3?
VH1's pop-up video.
Okay, so I'm running off of that because I absolutely want this one. MTV's Cribs. Yeah. Bro, give me Cribs all day long. It was
I'm so pissed.
so fun. And
You know they still have Cribs, right? It's just on YouTube.
It's just not as good. It's not MTV
Bro,
Yeah,
Cribs.
it's not
I'm so
what
pissed.
MTV Cribs
It's
was.
not the staged version of Cribs.
But that's the worst part. So much of that was staged and not real.
Everybody had a picture of Scarface in their house, and Scarface was playing, and their fridge was full of beer.
I'm so
The
mad right
Coronas.
now.
The Heineken's. All right, Daniel, you're
Yes.
4 and 5, since he took one.
Now I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Exhibit's Pimp My Ride to replace
Ooh.
Cribs.
Well done, sir.
And I'm gonna go one more TV show, and I'm gonna go with Bear Grylls, and I forgot the name of the show. It's the survival show. Hold on, give me a second. Man vs. Wild. There you
It's
go.
still on, isn't it?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't still do Man vs. Wild. He does other stuff.
Yeah,
but
he
I don't
doesn't.
think Man
But
vs.
they
Wild
still
is
have
still
it.
happening.
I remember when he took President Obama out, and like later on they said that like they had everything like pre-cooked for him.
Oh, that's
Yes.
funny.
Man vs. Wild. All right, Josh, your
Can't
last
believe you
one.
took Cribs.
All right,
I'm so
I'm
mad.
going purely for the nostalgia effect. Are you ready for this? And
Yeah.
I think this is a steal here in the 5th round. CD cases.
CD
There is
cases?
something, yes, there is something about flipping through CD cases and
Still
just
got one. Still got
finding
one.
the right CD. CD cases, bro.
I don't like doing it. Like, I don't like CDs. I don't like the idea of it. But BJ's Billy Simmons CD case
I
is
hated that
legendary.
thing. You have to flip through the first 12 to get past ICP. It's annoying.
His fucking CD case is legendary. It's like this fucking wide and like this tall. It's got
Is
4
he still listening to
apart.
CDs?
Falling apart like all get
Does he
out.
still listen to
Older
CDs?
than dog shit. Back from when he
Oh,
had
yeah.
that stupid ass Grand Dam
from that
or whatever it is.
Pontiac Grand Dam that he used to run around in.
That damn
He
CD
still
case
got that
is
same
legendary.
CD case.
Yeah.
That CD case is from my high school days. That
That
man
CD
never
case is
gave up the CD
legendary.
case.
It is legendary.
Heather still has her CD case from high school.
So the funny thing is, currently I'm driving the Chiefs truck. That's now Billy's. I've been driving it around because
Nice.
I just recently bought a truck.
Okay, cool.
But I'm waiting on a title.
Gotcha.
I had to pay off the dude's loan and all that bullshit, so I'm waiting on a title. So I'm driving the Chiefs truck.
Gotcha.
I bought a diesel to pull a trailer for ACW.
Nice.
Because the beast was struggling a little bit, and so I'm driving around in that, and I asked
It's a
BJ,
massive
where the
trailer, so it needs it needs something more to carry it.
Yeah. So I told BJ the other day, so where the fuck is your CD case? Because I know he's like, I said, you get rid of it? He's like, no, it's at home. I'm like, you motherfucker, dude.
That's funny. Oh, that's
All right,
great.
my number 5 is a steal. And I'm only saying this because it should still be sold in stores. It should still be an option at the fountain drinks. And it should still forever be in everybody's childhood home of the 90s.
Nobody likes Mr.
Surge.
Pibb. Oh.
Bro, I will clap for that. I will absolutely clap for that. Surge, when Surge came, Surge is actually back, by the way. You can get Surge, but it's super expensive. Oh, is it not?
It used to be $1 can at Walmart, and I can't get it no more at all. They don't even have it at Burger King anymore. They used to have it at Burger King in their fountains.
I used to be able to get it on Amazon. Still.
Oh, Amazon might have it, but that shit's probably hell of expensive.
$29.99
no,
on
it
eBay.
was. I was gonna say it was still okay.
For how
It was
many?
about a
No,
for a
on
24-pack.
Surge.com you can buy it.
Yeah, you can still buy Surge.
Right, but it's not in stores. It's not
No,
easily accessible.
it's hard to get. You're right. It is not easily
and it's
accessible.
also not at like restaurants like it should be. Like restaurants used to have this in their fountain. Like
Yeah.
Burger King literally just got rid of it like 2 months
No, it's
ago.
at Walmart.
They don't have it here at Walmart.
Well,
don't
per
have it here.
their website, it's
Yeah, per
it's
their
at
website. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's
in like
at,
the West Coast.
It's in Liberal
Well,
Walmart.
Western
It's in
Kansas,
Diamond
maybe.
Walmart.
Not here.
It's in Garden City, Kansas Burger King.
Right, but like the Burger King here said that they no longer can get it for their fountain drinks. So it's probably going away.
That's crazy. I don't like Surge,
Well,
but
I
that's just
agree
me.
with
I
you,
love
Surge.
The
Surge was so good.
like frozen drink was the best.
So I don't have any more picks, but there's a particular item on this subject of Surge that I absolutely am so sick and tired of being limited. And that is Doritos Salsa Verde. I'm sick of it. The best chips in the history of chips.
3 bags unopened.
Still?
Yes.
$20 right now. Give me one. $20.
$4.99. $20.
I'll give you $20 right now. Cash.
Drive over here.
here. Oh, I can't drive tonight, but I'll give you $20 for a bag. $20.
That means $20. You drive it to him.
I'll give you $20. I'll give you 2 bags for $20. How's that?
Shit. Give me all 3 for $40.
No, one of them's open.
Fuck. Son of a bitch. The best chips in the history of chips. I'm so tired of them being limited.
They were good. They were great. Salsa Verde, the green bag. They come out once a year.
Green bag.
And they're like
Doritos.
made in Mexico, I think, because they have this little Mexican emblem on the bag that's like not on normal bags of chips. So they only come out once a year. And then they just released a Cheeto that's from the same like I guess seasonal thing, and it's like these cheese balls that are like it's like the Frito chili pie, the Frito chili cheese chips,
like
but
the
in
dust?
the cheese Cheeto. No, it's a Cheeto ball. It's
have y'all seen the new Cheetos chili cheese fries? You remember those? They used to have hot fries and they had chili cheese fries.
They've had
and they were like strips. Cheetos make some now.
Yeah, they have. They're in a yellow bag,
and they say like chicks or sticks or something on it.
Yeah, I gotta try it. Cheeto sticks.
They're really good. Yeah, I only found them in vending machines, but they're really good.
I've had them. Vending machine chips always taste better in the smaller bag. Am I wrong?
They do too.
They always taste way better.
Like that red bag of like salsatinas. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the little like tortilla rounds.
Yeah, they're round and they taste like salsa, and they're like called salsatinas or something like that.
They have salsa verde tostinos or tostitos.
No,
like
they
actual
Doritos.
Well, no, they still taste good. Like they're like a different color and everything.
They might be good, but they ain't Doritos good.
Yeah, but you can't get those year round. So I'm just saying.
I can get them year round if Bobby keeps them in stock. $20.
Well, shoot, I think they were on sale at Dillon's on 30th all the way up until last month.
I bought a bunch. I probably bought like 10 bags. Reagan ordered some on Dillon's, like the pickup order. And she ordered me like 8 bags or some ridiculous number. And they only gave me 1. And then they replaced all the other 7 with random Doritos like Cool Ranch and nacho cheese. I was pissed. And I got all these chips that I didn't want.
If you bought 5 or bought 10 or whatever, they were so much off to where they were less than $2 a bag, and we bought 8 of them. We actually got all Walmart or Dillon's in Wichita had them all over too.
Salsa Verde?
Yeah. They were on sale longer than they're only normally on sale for about a month.
They're the best fucking chips ever made.
And go to Doritos.com and check out those flavors. Like they have crazy flavors. Like dill pickle, I want to try that.
The second best flavor ever is called Fiery Habanero. It was an orange bag. They were spicy as shit. But they were great.
Guys, don't miss it. It is going to be amazing. The Air Capital Brawl, Wichita, Kansas, September 23rd. Heartland Championship Wrestling is coming to Wichita. They're going to put on a show, let me tell you. The main event, the one we get to promote, the one we get to talk about, is going to be Aaron the Prodigy Helms taking on Remington Roar. And let me tell you, it is going to be a bloodbath. It is going to be a fight for the ages. We've had both of these guys on our show to talk a little bit about the match. They've both chimed in very heavily about their opinions on each other and their skill sets and how this match is going to go. But you get to see it yourself in person, September 23rd, Wichita, Kansas, at the Air Capital Brawl at the Osage Recreation Center. The doors are going to open at 5 p.m. and the bell is going to ring at 6 p.m. Now, general admission's $12. You can get premium admission at $15. But if you want the best seats in the house, and I mean premium, they are front row seats. You get quickest access to merch, quickest access to concessions, all that stuff. The VIP treatment, that's going to cost you $35, but it is worth every penny. It is a blast. Make sure you jump on the socials, Facebook. I believe y'all are on Instagram. Is that correct or not yet?
Yes.
Yep, they're on Instagram. Make sure to follow them on socials, HCW. It is going to be a phenomenal show. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a blast. You might even want to go back and listen to the last couple of episodes and get your own feel for who might win this match, because it has been a whole lot of chirping between
Fake
Aaron the
news.
Prodigy Helms. Aaron the Prodigy Helms had a few choice words about our podcast after being on here, all in good fun. But you know, some people can't handle the pressure of being with the Chubby Buddies. So I don't know. Remington Roar, he's on here too. He's had a blast. He chimed in. I unfortunately didn't get to talk to Remington. Bobby got that privilege. But man, it sounded amazing. And I know personally, I think I'm biased a little bit on this one. I know who I think is going to win it. But hey, I've only called the last 2 matches that I've talked about, I think. I'm not sure.
You did.
I
You
think
did
so.
call them.
Yeah, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. When you
But I
watch
did get to
wrestling,
meet
when you
Remington.
know who the personalities. Remington's solid, dude. You're gonna love him. He's fantastic.
He's in
But like we
Japan right
said,
now.
yeah, he's in Japan touring. He's putting on a show. I think we just shared something on our socials of Remington on his tour in Japan. It looks amazing. So make sure September 23rd you're there. Heartland Championship Wrestling at the Air Capital of the World, Wichita, Kansas. Do not miss it. Air Capital Brawl, Osage Rec Center. Doors open at 5. Bell rings at 6 p.m.
Oh,
Well, let's
man.
get into sports.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for.
I'm
Sports.
all about that sports
Can
talk.
I start this off by? I've got to say this. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but the Kelsey doc, bro.
Yes. I watched it.
Like,
it is phenomenal.
The NFL or NFL players in general, I think they need more. Like, they need more things
Exposure.
like this to let us, as a fan, like for fans, we get to see it from a different perspective. But also, NFL players don't talk about like what he talks about enough or at all. Like how he plans for the future is like he's the only player I've ever heard say this.
It's a documentary about a man who happens to play football.
Like it's for like it was meant for, I guess, yes, football fans, but it's way more than that. Like it's about a man planning for the future.
Kelsey as a man, and like it's
is it Jason or Travis?
Jason
Kelsey. It's going to be really good. Jason
now,
is
Trav's in it, as is Kylie, his wife, and his kiddos. It goes basically all the way up to the birth.
Pretty much the end of the Super Bowl.
Daughter. Yeah,
actually, it's all
Bowl,
it's all the way up to the SNL episode that Travis was on.
Yep.
So like he just talks about. I don't want to give anything away just because a lot of people probably still haven't seen it, but like he just talks about certain topics that just aren't talked about. Us as fans nor players like ever see this, and like he's only worried about like what happens to him later down the road. That's all he's worried about. Yep. Granted, he still loves football.
He talks about what toll it's taking on his body, what retirement might look like, his age versus his skill set, things like that. So he talks football, but it's so much deeper than that, and it's really just kind of just an intricate, beautiful look at an individual, a human being, Kelsey, who's a phenomenal dad, a phenomenal husband, and a dedicated teammate. And you can tell just kind of like a deep-hearted, like Philadelphian. Like he bleeds that team. Like he bleeds that city. And he's
my
kind of an
favorite Kelsey, hands down. Nothing
inspiration.
comes close.
He's kind of an inspiration to that whole city. And
It-
so
it-
you
it-
really
family.
get just an image of who he is, who his family is, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful documentary.
Just some shit that I've noticed about Jason. He is just so genuine. Like he was, I seen some like video, and I don't remember what it was. It was
About his
probably
mom?
about the podcast.
Dude, he made me kind of like get all choked up because when he was talking about how he saw his mom right after the Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
he said that's all he cared about was just the fact that his mom was on top of like cloud nine.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. It was him talking to
man.
Trav, and he was talking about how like him winning a Super Bowl to him wasn't as fulfilling in his life as watching his brother succeed and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that
and they
to
go into
me is
detail
like,
about that in this documentary. Like he gets more in depth about why like he is the way he is.
yeah, and I feel so much for that because
Yeah.
it's been something for me a lot.
The guardian that you see in Jason Kelsey, kind of that warrior man that you almost kind of aspire to be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I look at him and I'm like, I want to be manlier like him. Like that to
Yeah,
me is
Jason
a good definition of manhood. Because you look at the way he treats his kids, you look at the way he treats his wife, and how he treats his teammates, how he treats individuals.
His wife is a straight up boss, dude. Like
she's so funny.
I would be worried about her. Like if I was if she was one of our like wives in the group, like I would not piss her off. Like she would be like the one. She's like Christine on like steroids.
I was just getting ready to say, it's like she's most like Christine, but like
on steroids.
Yeah, I feel
she's
juicing.
She's Kylie's cool though, man. Like, but
oh yeah, did you watch the episode with when she came on? That was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome episode.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Well, what I was going with that is
I just
like
wanted to start it with it.
I kind of feel that with my brother Billy, like seeing him succeed in like his dreams has been so awesome to me,
right?
And everything he's done, and to like now be a part of HCW, right? It's just like I don't know. It's just so much because wrestling's not my dream. You know what I mean? Wrestling's not.
No, but you
thing.
have what I love in this is that you're using your gifting, which is your one, your business mind, two, your creative digital art, and you're using that to bless B, and like that's the cool thing is like you're using what you're good at to help lift his dream up even higher. And that I think is one of the coolest things you're doing as his brother, man. Like I'm so grateful for you for doing that.
It's a different feeling. Like
it is.
What's my dream? I couldn't tell you, right? But I know what his is, right? And to be a part of it, it's just spectacular to me.
In the same way, it's why
that in Jason.
Yeah, in the same way, it's why I love getting on here and running promo for HCW. Like I love just being a part in any small way that I can because you get to see that huge smile on his face when the crowd pops. You get to see when his guys, his wrestlers go off and succeed. You get to see his face glow, man. And nothing beats that. When he is living out his passion and his drive,
like,
nothing beats
he's
that.
So
it's beautiful.
He's already such a jolly person. Like BJ's such a friendly,
but he comes alive in a way
person.
that you just
and then you can see him like his stress. Like for me, right? Like leading up to this show this week, I've seen so much stress just on his face.
You see his anxiety just build.
Saturday
and
night,
build.
when that fucking bell rings for the first time,
when
it
it's
won't
crunch
be that
time, is nothing. It's gone. But up to the bell, anxiety is going to build and build and build, and he's going to be so fine-tuned about every detail. He's not going to miss a thing, and he's going to beat himself up over anything he does miss.
Yeah, and that happened last show. And it was the funniest shit ever. Oh
But
my gosh.
that's how you know he's destined to do this, because he doesn't settle for anything less than everything he has for it. This is his dream.
But no, I just wanted to start this whole segment off with that, just because I think that the NFL as a whole, not just the teams, but also they just need more Jason Kelce's. Like,
Yes,
nothing,
more
no question about it.
documentaries on guys like Jason, and more
Or just general
documentaries on
people,
linemen,
like
for
just
sure.
more people like him. Like, if every team had a Jason Kelce, they would always be hard to beat, like offense or defense,
They would
whatever
have
side he's on.
absolutely good leadership if you've got a Jason
Like, the
Kelce.
leadership is just on another. Like, if I didn't know his age, I would think that he was like 10 or 15 years older than me. Like, just by how old he is. But he's like a year older than us, or maybe 2.
The thing about that is, like, I agree and I don't agree, right? Because you got people like Aaron Donald, who are like almost Jason Kelce worthy leaders, and they can't do anything because the coach just isn't there.
I don't know that I would call Aaron Donald the same level of leader that Jason is. And not to say that Aaron Donald's not a talented player and a good leader. I actually don't know his leadership skills in.
Yeah, because we don't see it in the spotlight as much. But the way they talk about him, he's right there. He is so close. Like he's humble.
I'd have to hear it,
but then didn't you go back
in tune enough with that team? Yeah, so
then you go back and look. Like there's some really good leaders that are trash football players, and it hurts the team, right? Like Jameis Winston, that dude is a fucking great
good leader.
But he is
not
trash,
the most high caliber player.
He is trash. He is garbage.
But see, that's the thing, is a team isn't just high talent players. A team is high talent combined with good leadership. Because good leadership can.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say good leadership can correct good talent but bad behavior. Whereas good talent can push good leadership to stay cutting edge, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's where I'm kind of going with it. Like, I think Jason also stands out because he's an offensive lineman and he doesn't get shine during games. So it stands out more to us because, like, the offensive line are never pointed out. Defensive line, defensive end, linebackers, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Those guys are always, like, in the spotlight anyways.
All
of them. Jason Kelce is nowhere near in the spotlight except for the Super Bowl. That was it. But, like, other than that, his leadership is what makes him stand out amongst everybody else that's on the field.
Yeah, the Super Bowl had a particular story that they were highlighting, the Kelce Bowl.
For good reason.
But outside of that, you're right. The only time you ever hear an offensive lineman's name is if a yellow flag's been thrown. So the idea is,
or he's hurt.
An offensive lineman is supposed to be hidden. We're not supposed to be heard. We're not supposed to be seen. If we're doing our job well, you don't even think about us.
And that's why I think he stands out.
But it is the easiest position in football. I mean,
no,
no way. That is the hardest offensive line besides left tackle. He's got to know everybody's job on the line. No. He's got to know what the quarterback is doing, the running back, and he has to know who's on the line.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down by position. Is quarterback harder than offensive line?
No, I'm talking for offensive line.
Quarterback is the hardest job.
No. Offensive line is the easiest position in football. No. All of them.
No.
Let's break it down by position.
Wide receiver.
Quarterback is the hardest. Okay. Quarterback is the hardest.
Is running back harder?
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. You have to know the holes and what a wheel route is.
And you have to be able to run the ball. Those fat fucking offensive linemen ain't running shit.
That's not harder. What? Anybody can tuck a football and run.
And get 2 yards, maybe half a yard.
No, a subpar running back can get 5 yards behind an amazing offensive line. Challenge me on that.
But you can't put an offensive lineman in any other position and them be anything.
They don't need to be. They're specialized for that role.
No, they're garbage.
Step onto a field and run that mouth some more.
Have you ever seen offensive
Did you
plays
put
where
pads
they
on?
don't even use the offensive line. They put those
Daniel.
motherfuckers all the way over there, and they run the ball from right there with the damn center and the damn running back and
Daniel,
quarterback.
did you put football
I
pads
didn't
on?
even need them. What?
Did you put football pads on?
Yes?
What grade?
4th.
I don't remember.
Exactly.
Middle school. But
Unless you put them on and play,
I
nobody
was a
wants to hear the
defensive player.
nonsense.
Offensive line's fucking easy.
Bro, I would love
right.
to see you
Cornerback
step in.
is the hardest position in football over quarterback.
Quarterback is the most challenging overall.
If we're talking
Cornerback-
mentally,
Cornerback is the most physically demanding of the position.
but we're talking about
No
the game of
question
football,
about that.
Josh. We're talking about the
Yes.
game of football.
Yes, the game of football, where you have to remember that it's not just about how talented you are, but also how good you are at reading plays and how smart you are at improvising. Because all of those
All
things
of
matter.
these people
Because
that had to
you
use
could
their
be the
brain in
greatest
football think
quarterback
offensive
in
linemen's
the
hard.
world.
Get out of here.
But if I can fake you out because you're too stupid to figure out the play, I'm going to burn you every time. I'm going to play you like a fiddle. Okay? So, again, it is physicality, it is endurance, and it is intelligence. All of those matter.
In that order.
Not a chance.
In that order,
It is not a chance. It is intelligence, physicality, and then endurance.
Have you ever seen Bob Sapp?
It is in
Have
that
you ever
order.
seen Bob Sapp? Do you know who that is?
Yes.
I do.
Okay. Put Bob Sapp at center, let him hike the ball, and nobody's getting past him, and he's a good center.
Watch me. Any good defensive lineman with good hand fighting skills can make a chump out of him.
No, he's just going to push him on the ground because he's bigger than him.
No, he isn't. Because big guys can't do squat if they don't have leverage. It's hand fighting. It's leverage. Low man wins. I've been put on my ass by a 5'5", 200-pound dude because he got lower than me.
Okay, getting lower ain't hard.
Leverage is what matters. So again, offensive linemen, I promise you. You go watch Jason Kelsey when he pulls and does a lead block, and you tell me he isn't one of the most athletic people on that field. Athletic, intelligent, and endurance physicality, linemen way up there. Promise you. Look at the draft boards, dude. Where do linemen go on the draft boards?
Because we got to find the biggest.
Good linemen
we got to find the biggest, strongest motherfucker to put in front of the defense. That's all we got to do.
Because football is built on the 10 guys in the middle. It's built on the line.
This is an unwinnable debate. That's all I'm
You'll
saying.
never, ever win this fight with me. You'll never
Every
change
other position is harder, though.
No, it isn't.
An unwinnable
You can
debate.
say that all you want because you stand on the shoulders of the offensive line. Receivers don't pull off their position without the linemen doing their job. Running backs don't pull off their position without the linemen doing their job. Quarterbacks.
Then how does the plays work when all the linemen are on the left side of the field and they still get the ball ran?
You tell me, because unless it's trickery and they happen to psych out a dude, they usually don't pull it off. It usually embarrasses them. Do I need to remind you of that dumb one that Dallas tried to pull? I think it was Dallas.
Which one?
They tried to pull the one he's talking about, and it did
I forgot
not
what
go
those plays
well,
are called.
and
What are they
murdered.
called?
Where they put a
are you
single
talking about
player.
Oh,
It's
you're
single
talking about
player
Zeke when you in the playoff game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but that's
What is
not
that
like
for-
And how did that go?
he got destroyed.
He got destroyed because he didn't have any linemen blocking for him.
Man. But anyway, in other words, we can't highlight a stat that probably has never been done. When Josh and I last did an episode, Aaron Rodgers was still walking. You've got so many things that have happened just in week 3. We're coming up on week 3 of the NFL. I mean, that's crazy. It's going by too fast. But I do want to highlight a stat and I want to see if Josh knows. Daniel, you might know, but Josh, I want to see if you know. All right. This has never been done this stat has only been accomplished in a single season, never in one game. All right.
I heard
You already know what it is? Well, it goes two ways. It goes two ways. A TD on
about this.
offense, defense, and special teams.
I heard about this. I don't know
Blocked
the
field goal for a TD. 3+ interceptions with a pick six. 7 sacks to 0 sacks. 40+ points scored and a blowout shutout.
Cowboys game.
That was the Cowboys Giants
Never
game,
been
right?
done. Never been done by
in
a
a
single
season.
like in a single
this
game.
happened
It's only
in
been done
a
in a season. One game,
game.
game 1, week 1
Yeah.
against the Giants.
That's nuts.
But then the other way, the team has never been scored on 40+ more points in one game, had 7 sacks to 0 sacks. It goes the other way. So that's also never happened to a single team in one game, and it's only happened in a season.
Ouch.
So like that was like they said that was like one of the biggest things of history for week 1. And I'm not just highlighting just the
that's
Cowboys,
only
but like
happened
the stat.
once in history in a season.
Well, it's happened numerous times in a season. Like I think the
gotcha.
Ravens, the 2001 Ravens, they did it.
Gotcha.
I mean, they did it
So
in a season.
What's happened in a season happened in a single game.
In a
That's
single game
nuts.
for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what's pretty insane.
Let's be real. The Cowboys looks fucking scary this year.
The defense. I am happy about the defense. Now, I'm a little
Cowboys look
worried about
good.
the offense. Like, I mean, I've got no reason to be worried because as long as the defense is doing their job, then nobody should score. I mean, we've only had 10 points scored on us in 2 games, so we'll see. The season is way too early, but still looking pretty good for the Cowboys. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers was walking. Chris Jones didn't play week 1, and now he's
did they get him back quick?
Bro,
the reason why is
that
because that
man
Chiefs defense is
was
looking still pretty good
ready.
without him.
Yeah,
And
that defense
and they looked good without him.
Scary looking. You can't tell me that Chiefs defense doesn't look smothering.
Oh, it's a great defense. That's the only reason why they weren't like losing 17, 20, like 17+ points to nothing in the first half. Was the defense. I mean, you can't give that. Travis Kelce didn't show up to the first half. None of the wide receivers were showing up for the first. Well, I guess. I mean, they still had like 2 catches for Tony, and that's. I mean, he didn't show up in the first game at all. I mean, he did the same thing in college. Though.
No denying, Oakland was definitely in Travis's head for sure. They were about to duke it out at the end of it.
Oh, he was mad.
Yeah.
Like that whole game, like granted, plus where they were at, I mean that
for sure.
It was pretty warm too, considering how they've been practicing in. So like the humidity there was through the roof. So
yeah,
that had to be a part in
that would have been miserable.
But Daniel brought up. Oh, go ahead.
What is y'all's thoughts on turf? After all these injuries, we got
I've rolled my ankles
out.
more on grass than I ever did on turf. Like turf, I never had any like roll my ankle, get hurt, or anything like that. Grass,
we have NFL players sitting out because of turf fields. David Bakhtiari is not going to play if it's a turf field.
Man,
one of the best linemen in the league.
And that's his choice.
I'm curious as to what is causing these injuries. If it's essentially just a footing thing, and that like it's too secure.
Well, I think they're trying to blame Aaron Rodgers' foot injury or ankle injury, or Achilles injury on the field.
So the question is it a secure thing? Like is the rubber base that they use, is it whatever they're using, is it in a way that it's locking the shoe into place, or what's the deal? Like that's causing it too slick of a surface?
So maybe it's just a cleats thing.
Well, I'm wondering if it needs to be a cleats for turf versus cleats for grass kind of thing.
Exactly.
Because I don't know.
Well, there is, because in grass it's metal cleats.
Because
usually.
Again, the reason why we're doing turf is because some of these stadiums just can't do grass. They're not designed for it. Their environment doesn't.
And they're harder to
it.
maintain.
It's so hard to maintain.
And it's not better on the concussion protocol. Like people are saying they get less concussions on turf versus grass because grass, if the dirt is compacted at some point, like it's going to get too hard in certain spots. Therefore, with turf, it's the same softness across the field. Like in certain spots on a grass field, the ground gets harder. Like turf, it's going to be the same. I guess what would you say that would be like for softness?
Yeah, it's going to be
consistent
firmness
like,
all the way across.
Yeah, firmness. That's where I was going. So like the firmness is going to be the same. So there are pluses and minuses to both fields. But I know that I personally have rolled my ankle more and gotten like physically, like I guess not injured, but I've hurt myself on a grass field more than I have on a turf field. Granted, when it rained, I slipped around on a turf field.
We played both grass and turf. High school, our senior year, we got a turf field. So we played on that. I remember it being physically more just irritating to play on turf because you scratched yourself up more. It felt like rug burn a lot of the time. So when you go down, stop hurt. But then you got used to it. It wasn't gravel, so you weren't it didn't hurt that much. So you just kind of got used to it, and it felt like you were just getting rug burn all the time.
Right.
We didn't have any issues with losing our footing and stuff. We had a pretty good field. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what issues they're facing, or why some turf fields are having these issues. But it doesn't seem to be all the turf fields.
No, but just Arizona.
Types of turf.
Going back to their fields they're not meant to have grass or whatever, right? The amount of money lost by the NFL because of just Aaron Rodgers' injury could pay for a new field.
No, you don't understand, dude. Maintaining these fields is millions of dollars a season.
You're paying a
some of these stadiums are not even oriented to the correct orientation where they could support a grass field.
Yeah, they're not getting the correct sunlight to where the grass would grow properly.
There's an angle that these have to be built at so that the sunlight properly hits the field enough time in the year to be able to do it.
That's why baseball was a problem. One of the reasons why baseball was a problem.
Lambeau's a great example of that. Lambeau has a grass field in an area where it didn't get a ton of sunlight, but its orientation helps it, and the fact that they don't do many other events at Lambeau other than football. A lot of these other stadiums,
by the fans.
Yeah, a lot of these other stadiums are trying to build up these big stadiums, but have other events go on in the venues and swap that field out or cover it up and things like that, and they can't maintain a field.
So if we had all grass fields, you would pretty much get rid of all closed roof domes. All those would be gone. Like if you were inside year round, you couldn't have a grass field. Not a chance.
You could with the right lights.
You would have to remove it every single time because places like New Orleans,
look at all your
they would have to pull the ground.
They all have to have retractable roofs. All baseball diamonds have retractable roofs because they all use grass fields.
Yes. And your places like New Orleans or Atlanta,
to
all
grow
those
your
would
grass.
be gone. Because you can't, and it would cost so much money to pick up the grass every single time.
Yep.
It couldn't happen. That's why Oakland had Oakland had baseball and football played on it for many years,
Oakland's
and there was
field
no grass.
Awful. People hated that.
No grass.
It was awful to play on.
So the argument I don't think is there for justification to turn every field grass.
No.
The money idea is only good for a one-time thing.
You've got to look into what's causing the issue. Is it traction issues? Is it something like that? And then I would say the easiest solution is you look at the cleats first. You say, what kind of adjustment can we make to turf cleats to keep them safe for the game of football, but make it easier to gain traction and stuff like that?
And they're not even playing on what they used to play. The AstroTurf was even worse. From what I hear, it was similar to playing on concrete. It was that hard. And that's where why they got rid of that is because of the concussion protocol, people falling and hitting their head or getting tackled and hitting their head. there is no right perfect answer for every stadium at all, because you don't know, like he said, like the cleats. You don't know what cleats other teams are wearing. They all decide that before the game.
I think it's going to be something.
Well, like
I think it's going to be a really big deal in the next few years. Turf and grass, because
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think it's going to be like to change. I don't think it's going to happen, because they would have to change stadiums.
We won't see a big massive change like that, but you're right. It does have to be addressed, because you're right. It is becoming a big deal.
It's becoming a big deal. I don't think they're going to change the fields, obviously, but I think it's going to be a big deal that they're going to have to address. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, here's a good example. During the Super Bowl, this is where I'll end it. Travis Kelce talked about it on their podcast. He had 3 pairs of cleats, and he used all 3 pairs because they were slipping and sliding all over Arizona's field. And he said that there was nothing. They weren't gaining any type of traction because of the field. And like the kicker, week 1 with the Chiefs got hurt because he lost his footing.
Yep.
Is that grass or turf?
That's grass. That was a grass field. So there's no right and wrong answer for that, because you're going to waste money either way you look at it. But to change it from turf to grass is going to cost. Yeah, it might be cheaper a one-time thing, but every year round it's going to be way too much money for each team. You might as well put that in your salary cap, because that's like hiring like 10 players for a whole year.
But they have plenty of money to make sure that these guys are safe.
But I'm saying to keep you're paying somebody that's a specialist to do that. That right there is in the hundreds and thousands of dollars for a whole year, maybe more.
Yeah, but that's
then
not
all
even
the material.
one game worth of money.
Then all the material in a long run, it's never going to be. It's never going to like pay off.
Do you honestly think that if the salary cap was $1 billion, that these fucking teams wouldn't be spending so much money, more money, like changing the field and maintaining it? Wouldn't matter.
Well, the field, but that's the thing. The field isn't the thing. But they're only paying out one time.
That's the point of it. Like, the owners aren't trying to spend that much money, so it's a slow-moving partnership that climbs. So that's not realistic.
It'll be addressed. I just don't know how they're going to address it.
It'll be addressed. I think the smartest way to address it.
There's always going to be mad people, no matter what they decide.
For grass and turf is the smartest, quickest way to solve it.
And that's what they do. They just need to find the right cleat for the given situation. And like, there's going to be upset people across the board. There's going to be happy people across the board.
Do a little research.
Let's get into this week's picks.
Yeah.
Since Daniel is here, this week's picks. We'll make it quick. You ready?
Yeah.
Thursday night's game, Giants versus Niners. Who you got?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Niners.
Daniel.
All day, every day, 40-0.
Same,
I think
Niners.
I'm picking, yeah.
Give me the Niners as well. Yep.
All right. Sunday, Atlanta versus the Lions.
Oh.
I'm going Lions.
Also, give me the Lions. But have y'all noticed Atlanta is 2-0?
I'm going Atlanta.
Oh.
I don't think Atlanta's Lions good.
The Lions are good. I mean, they did lose against Seattle. They did lose against Seattle, though.
Lions beat us. Yeah. 21-20.
Lions are tough.
Chargers at Vikings.
I'm going to go Minnesota.
Oh, gosh. What is going on? I got to break away from you at some point, but it ain't going to be in this one. Give me Minnesota as well.
I'm going Chargers. Texans at Jags. So this is a swampy situation.
Jags. I'm going Jags.
Jags for sure.
Yeah.
Jaguars for sure.
I think it's gonna be a boring game, to be honest.
I don't know. Trevor Lawrence having
Trevor's
some freedom.
Right.
Texas don't get a good defense. Jags might just go off, and it might just be a tone-setting game for the rest of the year. Really,
maybe.
I think it could be good for the Jaguars. Really good, actually, with Trevor Lawrence behind the helm. I think it could be a good game.
This should be pretty easy. Also, Titans at Browns. Even though Browns just lost their running back for a whole season, but I think they have a pretty good backup. I mean, he did all right.
They're going to go get Kareem Hunt. They're going to go get Kareem Hunt.
Staying at the Saints. Yeah. He's staying at the Saints.
They're going to go try to get Kareem Hunt.
No, they'll go get Kareem back.
Never let go of him.
their GM is a Kareem Hunt fucking fanboy. They're gonna try
Why'd
to
they
get
let
Kareem.
go of him? I don't know. We'll
Because
see.
they had
So
Chubb.
who you got?
Why
Titans
not?
or
They had
Browns?
Chubb. Yeah, it's a financial thing. He wanted
going-
more money and could afford, like could get more money, and so he went for it.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee in this game.
Ooh,
Okay.
Josh,
Yeah, I think I'm also. Yeah, I think I'm going Tennessee as well.
I'm going Browns. I got faith. All right, Colts at Ravens. This should be a blowout. Ravens have been playing hot. I'm just saying.
Ravens have been playing hot,
Do you
but the
think
Colts
it's
aren't
gonna be the
bad.
Ravens though?
I do. I mean, the only thing they're missing this week is OBJ, and he's maybe
Is
out 2 weeks.
Anthony Richardson playing next week?
I don't know. He pulled himself
Yes.
out, so we'll see.
Let me look that up. Hold on.
Pulled himself out last week. Josh, who you taking? I'm taking the Ravens.
I think I am taking. I want to hear the answer to this question first.
He's in concussion protocol.
So yeah, I don't think he's playing because he took
He's
himself
probably
out.
not playing. I'm gonna say the Ravens if Richardson is not playing.
Ravens, but I think I'm with Daniel on this one too. If Richardson plays, I might
Daniel
switch it.
and Josh.
Yeah, because
All
I
right.
think Richardson's gonna have something to prove
Can we
against Lamar.
do that? The caveat of
You can't even show up to this podcast on time. What are you talking about? You'll forget.
I had to make dinner. Shut up.
You'll forget. It's all right. Saints at Packers. I think this could be a good game, actually.
I think it could be a really good game. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Saints, but I think the Packers and Jordan Love have a chance.
I thought they had better chance though against Atlanta, and they didn't pull it off.
I'm concerned that the Packers haven't faced really enough to truly prove their mettle. I still think this could be a good game, but I think the Saints win it.
I too also think the Saints are going to win it. Daniel, what's your final decision?
The Saints.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know.
Yeah, he said Saints.
Yeah.
Broncos at Dolphins. The Broncos-Redskins game, I think that was pass interference. That's just me. It was crazy ending to bring them back within tying the game. I thought it was a cool ending, especially for Russell Wilson.
Dolphins, Broncos, let's be honest. Tyreek Hill is unfucking stoppable. Miami Dolphins, every time.
You know, it's so
I
great
too
to
picked
hear
the
you say that. I wish you would have said it when he was a Chief.
It sucks, don't it? Like, it
Yeah.
really does suck because, like, Patty really needs help right now.
You know, he's
He
doing
needs-
okay. He's doing okay.
just
He's spreading
needs
the
help.
ball around. I don't know if you see, he got it to like 13 receivers this time, or 13 different people. I think one of them was a tackle, though. So,
Josh, do you two picking the Dolphins?
yeah, give me the Dolphins.
All right.
I take the
Bills at
Dolphins.
Commanders.
I'm in a bias pick here. I'm going to go Washington.
Say it
There you go.
again. It's who versus
Bills at
Bills.
Commanders.
Bills at Commanders.
Buffalo with the thin skins.
Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills on this one.
Josh. I
think
am
with
going to
that
go with
end-
Daniel, and I'm going to pick the thin skins.
Yeah, the Chase Young's back. I want to see him after fucking Josh Allen all game long. We're going Washington. That's a good one.
And this could be the worst game of the week, in my opinion. Patriots at the Giants. The shit show.
I don't think
shit
that'll
show
be bad.
showdown.
You already said the Giants.
Or Patriots at the Jets.
Jets.
My bad. Jets. Patriots at the
No,
Jets.
that won't be a bad game.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
a
a
Zach
shit
right.
show.
Wilson trying to prove something. The Patriots coming off of the work they did last week.
They're 0-2.
Well,
They're
but yeah,
0-2.
Dolphins, though.
but they
The best
almost
team in the
beat the
league.
Dolphins.
We're going
And-
Best
Jets.
team in the league. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm not.
Who's better
I'm
than
not,
the Dolphins?
I'm not counting the Jets out just yet on this one.
Josh.
Let's be honest. Who's better
Are
than
you
the
picking
Dolphins?
the Jets?
Come on.
Defensively or offensively?
Anyone.
That stat says it all. I mean, I'm just saying.
Which one?
The one we just prefaced, like at the very beginning of this.
Fuck the Cowboys.
You're the one that highlighted that the Cowboys defense looks scary. I'm just saying, and we can rewind this shit. And
No, I said the Dallas Cowboys look scary, not the defense.
I just said
the whole
that.
damn
I just
team.
Right. So
Okay.
he's saying,
There we
who's
go.
better than
There
the
we go.
Dolphins?
Even
He
worse.
says the Cowboys. And I
The
counter
Cowboys ain't
both
better
of
than the
you,
Dolphins.
and I
But
counter
you
both
started
of
off
you
by saying
and
they're
say,
scary, so I'm just going to take it as
whoever's
you
got the
agreed
most
with me.
recent Super Bowl title,
So
that's
Daniel
the
picked the
dominant
Jets.
team.
Whoever
So
has the
Patriots
most,
picked the Jets.
whoever has the best Super Bowl title
No,
takes the cake.
whoever has the most recent Super Bowl
No.
title gets to claim king. And that
No.
would be the Chiefs, baby.
Until another team can beat the Miami Dolphins record, they are
Josh,
forever
pick your
the
pick.
And
best team.
what record was that?
Undefeated, never lost. Like
Right,
Big
but
Baba
what was the
Graham
record?
said.
What was the record?
Undefeated Super Bowl.
Right, but could you give us the numbers of that record?
I could, but I'm not going to. Undefeated Super Bowl.
I think we'd all love to hear that 14-0-0 Super Bowl victory.
I would like to hear a
Undefeated
pick from
Super Bowl.
Josh. Patriots or the Jets.
So, in that
Jets.
aspect,
Oh, you did?
when a team
All right.
went 15-0, did they outdo your
No.
Dolphins?
Did they
I
win the
too
most
think of the
important
Jets.
game?
For
No.
the people who are listening to me and not them bicker like married women.
Hey,
Yes, I did say that they were lesbians.
that's part of why. That's part of why they tune into this podcast, is to hear us rant and banter with this
And two
nonsense.
I think your ADHD's gone worse.
Because they
over the
know
years, like,
that the Miami Dolphins are the best team to ever do it.
Okay, so my
Panthers
answer
at the
is
Seahawks.
you heard me
Panthers
say
at
Jets,
Seahawks?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Panthers at Seahawks?
Yes.
We're going Seahawks.
I'm also
I too
going
am taking
Seahawks.
the Seahawks. All right, Bobby, and
Josh has
Daniel.
copied me every game.
Go
That's
ahead.
Bears.
We're off on the Bills game. Bills
What'd you
skins.
say?
Bills skins we're separate on. But so far, yeah, every other game we're pretty much dead on.
Bears at the Chiefs.
Because
I've
I'm
got no
pissed
faith.
off, Bears.
Chiefs, baby. Chiefs.
You really picking the Bears?
Yep.
Take
All
that
right.
out.
Justin Fields going off.
Take that out. He hasn't yet.
This is his game. This is his
He's
year.
0-2, man. It's bad.
Cowboys at the
It
dumpster
sounds like
fire.
a
The
bad
NFC
year.
dumpster fire.
Cowboys at
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
We're going Cardinals.
Cowboys.
We're going Cardinals. We're being
Eagle
Eagles
odd.
eye.
at Bucks.
Baker Mayfield actually looks good.
Okay. This is the upset of the week in my book. I'm gonna say Bucks pull out.
I don't think it's going to be an upset. I think the Bucks are a better team this year
I do
because
too.
offensively they are clicking. It's crazy.
They're not
Jalen
a better
Hurts.
team. I do think.
Jalen, listen. Wait, let me tell you this before you say that because this is important.
I said
Hurts,
this at the beginning of the season.
Jalen Hurts is number 30 QBR right now, and Baker Mayfield is number 10.
We are 2 games into the season.
But I'm just telling you.
They've played
Bucks.
completely different teams, completely different defenses. So
Bobby said, of course
when
they play different teams, bro. He looked at you like
The
what?
Eagles Thursday night looked like they weren't clicking at all.
I'm not
Eagles.
saying that, but we are. It's first off, we all know any given Sunday. 2, you cannot be spouting stats after 2 weeks.
So you're an Eagle fan?
Minimum 5 weeks before we're
Let's see what his
spouting
pick is.
statistics. You ain't got real stats.
I
No,
am
you
picking the Eagles
Okay,
to
so
win.
I'm gonna go out there.
You're
and say
picking the
my
Eagles to win?
business makes
Yes.
$100,000.
I just put you down for the Bucks.
That was Josh.
No,
Josh
sir.
said he picked the
I
Bucks. He
said
said I'm
Bucks.
picking. I said
you are
I
saying
said
Bucks?
that
Oh, okay.
I think this is a good game and that Baker Mayfield's played good, and then I didn't get to make my pick, and Josh was like, "I'm going
I
Bucks."
called it at the
I'm
beginning of
gonna
the
win.
season. I called it at the very beginning of the season. I think the Eagles are going to have a flop year. I'm just saying.
You're just
Moving
a
right
hater.
along. Oh, that was a Monday night game, by the way. I jumped ahead. The other Monday night game is the Rams at Bengals.
That's a hard game. They're both playing like shit.
Yeah, and Burrows is probably not playing. Their
I'm going
backup
Rams.
quarterback.
I'm going Rams.
Yeah, me too. Joshua?
I will also go Rams.
I think
All
Matthew
right.
Stafford still got it.
The last game for Sunday is Steelers at Raiders. Steelers pulled one out of their butthole in that Browns game. Like that
One
one,
finger or
that
two
was
fingers? Or two fingers?
a whole fist. Like the Browns had like, I so thought the Browns were not going to win that, or we're going to win that game. Like that was crazy.
I'm going
Steelers
Oakland.
Raiders. Me too.
Or Las Vegas. What the fuck?
Same thing. I still call them the Redskins.
I will take not Vegas.
Oh gosh. Going
Yeah.
with the other upset of the
You're
week.
going with Steelers
Yep.
and Kenny Pickett? Guess
Yep.
what? Back to stats. Kenny Pickett is number
Steelers.
32 QBR in the league, if you didn't
Okay.
know.
He'd be good at hurdles, like watching that jump that he had in last night's game. Trying to hurdle over him. Well, that's this week's picks. Okay. Total score for both games added up. Joshua, hit me with the total score for both games.
Both games?
Both
What game?
games.
The Monday games.
Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Bengals.
Okay. Eagles Bucks is going to be a little on the higher scoring side, so I'm going to say
Well, just total. Add them both up.
I know. I got to do the math. You're making me do 4 scores.
Come on, you genius.
It takes a minute. I want to get about where I think it'll be. I'm going to say 56 in the first game. Remind me of the other two?
Rams, Bengals.
Rams,
So
Bengals.
probably fairly low.
That's going to be much lower. I'm going to call that one 32 for a grand total of 88.
Daniel
60 points total.
is 60. I am going to go 68.
I think you overshot there, Josh.
We'll see.
We will
Depends on
see.
if Jalen Hurts and Baker go
Come
off
next
like I
week.
think they will. I think that's going to be an offensive battle.
It's possible. But even if
That's
they
what
score
I'm
40,
expecting.
even if they scored 40, the Bengals ain't scoring more than 20 points.
If
That game.
The what?
The Bengals Rams isn't going to be more than like
That's why I
20,
think that'll be
24.
32. 32.
Total.
32 total. That's probably
But you said 56 on
20
the first one.
56 on the first one. Yes, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a shootout.
Pretty high.
I think it's going to be a Jalen and Baker shootout.
That could be. I like to see Jalen with a few rushing touchdowns in that game, though.
I think it's going to be Jalen scrambling probably a little bit more, but I think he'll still throw some good ones. But
I'd like to see the Eagles do what I said they were going to do
just
in
a
that swap.
good Jalen versus Baker shootout, and yeah, 56. I see it because that's 28 and 35. That's 5 touchdowns versus 4 touchdowns. You telling me both of those offenses can't score that on either
They
of those
can, they just
defenses?
haven't. That's what we were going off of, is like their average score.
But how long do you believe that they're going to play like piss poor like that?
No, I'm just saying I would go with a safer number. I mean, you just went with a higher number than I would have. That's
No,
all I'm saying.
that's to me that is a safer number with those offenses. I don't think
the Eagles are going to keep playing like they've been playing.
That's my point. I don't think these last 2 weeks reflect how the Eagles play. So
We'll
that's
see.
why 35 to me on either side of that, whether
I'm
it
not
be
saying
the
you
Eagles
overshot
or,
it. I'm just saying
and
it's
actually,
probably
I
higher
think
than
it's
what it's
I
going to
think
be.
it's the Bucks. I think Baker goes off and has probably a 4-score day, and they hand off for a touchdown as well.
I think the Rams Bengals could be a field goal game because the Rams
Baker throws for
offense,
3 and runs for 1.
Rams offense is not doing hot, and the Bengals defense is doing pretty good. And then the other way, the Bengals defense is terrible, or offense is terrible. I think it could be like a 12-9 game.
So I'm saying like 20 points. So even if it's 56, you overshot. Because of the other game.
Yeah. No, the other game, the Bengals Rams.
Yeah, like I'm thinking it could be like a 9-6 game.
Very reasonable score
If
for them.
that.
32.
Yeah, that game could be like 9-6.
How many points did Bengals have against the Browns? 3?
If they know Joe's out and they're game planning accordingly, I think we'll see a much more effective Bengals
I don't even
offense
know
than we've seen so
who their
far.
backup quarterback is. I've never heard of him. That's just me, though. Entertainment. Our last segment of the day or evening, whenever you're watching, it's
Could
entertainment.
be morning. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I just watched a movie that Josh will I don't know if I'm sure Josh has seen this because he's a nerd. Okay. I just saw it because I can't keep up. I can't keep up with all the movies they're releasing for DC and Marvel comics in the first place. So I get bored pretty easy. And this is not DC or Marvel, but it's on the same line. I just watched probably, I would say, from a human perspective, probably one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, just because, not because it's like a horror movie, but like how true, or how much this stuff actually goes on. Okay. And when I say it, Josh is going to go, okay, I get it. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, dude, that was the most insane. Okay, I don't want to use the word insane because he was insane, but that's like mental health, on the definition of mental health. And what's crazy about it is that they played into it so well, and they made it look like the people with the mental health is like reacting to what's going on the outside. And that's really where we were at with like COVID and stuff. It was wild. Have you seen it, Daniel? I got chills watching that. Joaquin Phoenix, him preparing for that movie, I bet you he would have been hell to be around.
It's very well done. There's a whole line. I don't know if you caught it, but I really think they could weave Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, with I don't know if you watched it, but the Batman with
I did not see the Batman. I saw it's on Prime.
It's really well done because its focus is more on the detective element of Batman. And so it's much more kind of a dark noir detective. Like, it's still Batman, but it plays much so more into the human aspect and the detective aspect. And so I thought it was very well designed, very intellectual. And then, as you're watching the movie, it sets itself up well that you could weave like Joker and other stories into that very easily.
The reason why it was so scary, though, is because, one, I've worked in the mental health. I've never had mental health problems. I've never been depressed. I've never been suicidal or homicidal or anything like that. This is what everybody that feels these ways is in one person. So anybody that's suicidal, homicidal, sad, faking to just live life, that's what he portrays. And that's I think that was the idea about it. That was everything. He was faking to be happy, of course. But another thing that I thought was scary about it is how well they portrayed how we deal with mental health today, and how that in the movie, they turned him away because he wasn't showing the signs. They pretty much were teasing him with oh, then try something, then we'll take you seriously. And then he snaps. I was like, what in the world? And then the way he looked, it reminded me of, who was that? Jared Leto in. I didn't see the movie, but I saw him, the way he looked, him and Matthew McConaughey, how they prepared for the Dallas Buyers Club. How much weight they lost. And he looked creepishly unhealthy. He was on death's door.
Ghoulish.
The way that
Ghoulish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, I will say this. I think he played, I just watched the newer Batmans of with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I think Joaquin Phoenix did a better job of Joker. And that's just me. That was the real, that would be
that's a bold statement, bro.
That's
Heath
a
Ledger
Joker.
won awards post-part.
Joaquin Phoenix did too, I do believe. I think Joaquin Phoenix did also. I think he won the same
What's
awards.
That called? Post-mortem, not part
expiration.
Post-mortem.
Okay. Well, I'm saying that only because it was more realistic. Looking at it was
it had more of a human element to it, but when Dark Knight came out, that performance by Heath Ledger was
I also didn't see it
amazing.
soon enough. I didn't see it when it came out, and
you should have seen that in theaters because it would have given you
I'm also
chills.
not a DC Marvel fan. That's why I was I don't know why I'm picking this, but I picked it because I thought it was going to be that. and it was not like that. It was like
No.
watching did you ever see Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler? Like, I got
Mm-hmm.
anxiety in that movie, and that's kind of like where this was at. Like, I got anxiety to see somebody going through it because I was like, holy crap, like, this is creepy.
Don't
I
be
don't know.
mad.
I just thought it was wild. Girl Scout cookies?
Ooh, this man is
Thin Mints?
munching
Are
on
they
some
frozen?
Thin Mint cookies.
Are they
Let's
frozen?
go.
No, I've just had them in my damn house for like ever.
Mm.
I'll eat them.
Any new movies that you guys
Send
have
them
seen?
my way. New movies? Nope, I haven't watched anything new recently.
I haven't watched anything new, but I've been watching a bunch of older movies. And there's a movie
too.
called it's like from 2017. Hold on.
While you're thinking of it, I did watch a show, not a movie. But it's older too. I had never watched it. I went ahead and finally watched Squid Games on Netflix.
Such a good show.
couldn't get into it.
It's first it's Korean, so you have to get over that it's dubbed, which isn't a problem. They do a really good job. I thought it was a little heavy just thematically. Like it goes way harder than like comparable. I would say comparable would be Hunger Games, but it's definitely like a rated R version of Hunger Games.
That damn shit is so good. That show is so good.
Here's what I would say: there are plot twists and there are character arcs that are very good in that show. There's also a decent amount in the show that's just tough to bear through because it is pretty graphic and pretty heavy on the violence and the torture, is what I'd say. And not like it's torture in the way like I need to say more than torture. It's not torture. It's philosophical. The philosophical weight of it. Because man, the way that episode or the way that show ends. Daniel, you watched it, I assume?
It ends hard.
Dude,
the ending hurts.
That ending it's really heavy. And as you're processing that, obviously
and so is the beginning,
got anime
right?
influences. Yes, yeah. It's obviously got anime influences. That's why he dyes the hair color, stuff like that. But then ultimately it's the plot of where they go with it that's going to tell me whether I can buy into the show more. I'm invested enough that I'm going to watch season 2. But just preface anybody that's watching it, just know it comes hard thematically. And so don't watch it around kids. Heck, I don't even know that I'd watch it around my teenagers. And that kind of breaks my heart because my teenagers, a lot of my students watched it when it first came out. And there's some themes in there that I really wish that, especially my middle schoolers, wouldn't have been watching. It's too dark.
My son watched it. So on that note, we could talk about that.
Hey, dude,
he's
that's
12.
not a judgment. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Because did
I
y'all
think
have a
you're right.
conversation about it or anything like that?
We've talked about it a lot, and like I think you're right in the fact that it does hit hard, right? Like even the way it starts, right? The way he gets there by playing.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of trailers. So I'm going to say
The
by
humiliation,
playing the beanbag game.
Yep, the humiliation
to
of
get
the
him in
beanbag
there.
game.
It's so. It is a lot deeper.
Things, it addresses things that I don't know that a middle schooler can quite understand yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
and that's
they're starting to get glimpses of it, but I don't know that, in the same way, like I don't think anybody would nobody reasonably introduces their 12-year-old to like heavy porn or anything like that because you recognize that's not healthy yet for a kid to process that kind of information.
But I also think it's deep enough that a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old isn't going to comprehend the show on the level that me and you do because of how deep that is, right? Because
I agree with that to an extent that that's a decent amount of that goes over their head. But honest to goodness, man, the subversive way all of that stuff implants into our brains and teaches us and molds us and shapes us. I just don't know that, like, for me, like, I don't know, like, to me, I'm concerned that what it does is it desensitizes in a way that I'm uncomfortable with.
And that might be a possibility, right? Like, it does bring light to something that shouldn't be brought light to, in a way. You know what I mean?
In a sense, yeah. And it's, I'm also a big fan of communicating with my kids. Hey, this is a movie. It's not real. It's made up. These are actors. This is art. This is a blood pack, things like that. And so I love explaining to that to my kids and explaining that themes are about writing and not so much about things like that. But I don't know. It is, I would say, to any adult, if you have the time, take the time to watch it, because it'll make you ask some questions. And it asks a really good question that I think anybody should be asked is, do you still believe good is in the world? And I think that's a question that every human being needs to ask anyways. So I think that's a very valuable question that's asked in that movie. The way they go about chewing on that and revolving around that, there's aspects that I struggle with, but altogether, I would say, as an adult, don't hesitate. Check it out. For your teenagers, be cautious. Maybe,
So,
younger ones, watch it with them, have a conversation, stuff like that. Older ones, have a conversation, afterwards, after they've watched it, stuff. I don't know. That's
So-
just my theory.
before we get off of this,
Yeah.
my son, Bryden, called almost all of the movie.
Really?
Before he watched episodes, he was calling it. And it was pissing me off that he was fucking, that he knew before. I couldn't call
Intelligent
it.
kid can spot the patterns, man.
Yeah, I couldn't call some of the shit that
That's
happened.
kind of what I'm getting at, man. Like, they may not get all of the deep, heavy thought stuff, but their pattern recognition and the way they observe is way higher than we give them credit for, and they're learning more than we give them credit for in this stuff.
So the movie that I couldn't find is called
Yes.
In Time. Have y'all ever
Oh, yeah.
watched it?
In Time
Good
with
movie.
Justin Timberlake?
What does it have in it?
Justin Timberlake,
In
Jessica
Time.
Yeah,
Biel,
Justin Timberlake, produced
Or not
by.
Jessica Biel,
that's not the-
Big Eyes, Amanda Seyfried.
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
not the movie I thought it was.
So it's
And,
the movie where they have the time on their wrist.
Yeah, not Jessica Biel.
yeah, I know, and
The
they can keep
mom
like
is Olivia Wilde? No, not Wilde.
it's
Olivia.
Olivia Wilde, isn't it?
Yeah, Olivia Wilde.
Because I know the premise behind it, but I didn't watch it because like you can earn more time for doing certain things. I just it
So
wasn't my cup of tea.
it's really good. I love that one.
That's
a good.
great
It's a good
movie.
sci-fi. I'm a sucker for sci-fi anytime. So, and that's a good sci-fi.
That is
I
such
always
a
thought
good movie.
I always thought it would be cool to have that tattooed, but have it tattooed like just infinity symbols.
I might steal your
Right.
idea, Josh.
I
might
know,
steal it.
dude. Like,
I might
but,
steal
like,
it.
dude, I think that would be so cool. Have that same tattoo, but instead of numbers, it's just like a digital infinity. Like, as
I
if
kinda-
I'll never be out of time.
I
thought
kind of
that would
would like it to be all zeros and then a 1 in the seconds mark.
Now that would be cool in the sense of live as if you've only got 1 second left kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
But
before I ask this next question,
oh, sorry.
oh no, what mic are you using, Josh? Because never use this one again. I don't know
Oh,
what you're
well-
doing, but you're like peaking like crazy.
I
You're
keep
good. I
turning
just
my
didn't
mic
know which
down,
one
but
you
it
were.
keeps going back up.
No, no, I just didn't know. It just doesn't sound like your normal mic. Like whenever you talk, like
Oh, it's my AirPods.
okay.
But
makes more sense
we were
now.
on vacation, so I haven't unpacked all my stuff yet. So my
What
mic's
in the
put away.
world? I was
Anyways,
like, why
that's
is
a great
it
movie.
Yes, it is, and I think it'd be really cool. The flip side of that, why I like the Infinity, is because it's the idea of that was kind of the whole premise. Was like the more time you have, the wealthier you are, and so it's this idea of like I don't need to rush because I've got all the time in the world. So, like, it's that inner peace idea. is why I
Why don't
like
you get a
it,
Mario
rather than
tattoo, like a mushroom for an extra life or something?
Oh my god!
That's gonna be
That
in
would
my
be
tattoo.
more like
The 1-up mushroom will be on my
Plus
tattoo.
1-up mushroom for sure. That's a good
I'm
one.
going to give you a quick breakdown because I think you would appreciate it, Josh. I'm going to get Hammer Bro. Do you remember Hammer Bro?
Heck yeah, I remember Hammer Bro.
So I'm
He's
going to
awesome.
get Hammer Bro, a Chain Chomp, and Piranha Plant from Mario to incorporate.
Dude, those are going to be so good.
Yeah, so the idea is to just put all my favorite games, right? But I'm not a
I love
main
it.
character guy. It's just not me. The only real main characters are going to be Ratchet and Clank, because who else do you get in Ratchet and Clank than Ratchet and Clank? Plus one of my favorite games. I'm going to get Sonic, because who else do you get in Sonic?
Tails. That's not hard.
Yeah, but my son really loves Sonic, so I just have to get Sonic on that one. Fair. But for Mario, I'm doing all like secondary characters like Chain Chomp, Piranha Plant, Hammer, like that's characters awesome, that you wouldn't think about. You know, I want to get Bullet Bob probably as some filler. I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna incorporate like all my favorite games. So I'm gonna get. So I don't know if y'all know, but my gaming name is Cluster. I don't know if I ever told you this, but the reason that it is Cluster is because when I came up with that name at 8 years old, the game that I played the most was Worms. You know the Worms game?
Yeah.
And there was a bomb called the Cluster Bomb. So that's where my name came from. That's where that happened at. When I was like 8. Right? So I'm going to get all these tattoos, right? And then I'm going to make it into a Worms battlefield. So there's going to be worms everywhere on my arm. But instead of having the traditional worms, like cluster bombs and all that, they're going to have all of my favorite shit, right? So they're going to like, I'm going to have 4 of them dressed up like the 4 warriors from the Warriors video game. My favorite game of all time.
So
I'm going to have worms with the model 1887s to represent Call of Duty in my life. You know, I'm going to have worms holding Zelda's sword and shield. I'm going to have...
That's going to be so fun.
I'm going to have Cloud Sword in one of the worms' hands. You know, I'm going to have...
his breaker sword?
Yeah, I'm going to have the Fey Blades from... I forgot the name of that game. And all these just like random shit that worms are going to have that to represent the games. Because there's ways...
you should have Chaos Blades from God of War.
Oh, but I wasn't a really big God of War fan because I never was a PlayStation guy.
God of War was so good.
It's such a good game. It's just I didn't have a PlayStation, and so it was hard.
Sure.
But it's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna get like Worm with Donkey Kong's tie on, or just random shit like that. Man.
Heck yeah!
And it's gonna be
really
fun.
Cool, dude. That'll be a great tattoo. You'll love that. Your kids will love that. They'll be asking about all those characters, stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So hopefully I can go in here soon. I'm probably gonna go in tomorrow and talk to him, see if I can't get like the first half done in the next couple weeks or so.
Cool.
It's gonna be cool. It's definitely gonna be fun.
Oh, my bad. Oh, thanks for coming back. You just listened to Nerd Tats 101. That's the Nerd Pod.
You have a biohazard symbol on your arm. Yeah,
this man has
I have a different reason
on
though.
His elbow.
Not because of a game though. Not because of the game.
But games are cooler than any reason you have.
Okay.
For sure.
I broke a guy's nose with it, and that's why I got a warning sign on it.
That's not a warning sign.
It's a
biohazard isn't a warning sign?
It means you're toxic. It means
that elbow is toxic.
No, it should be blunt force trauma.
Toxic. It's blunt force trauma.
Yeah, but there's no warning for blunt force
danger. There is.
There's no blunt force trauma weapon or blunt force trauma warning.
No, but
tell me what warning that is. Tell me what warning blunt force trauma is.
Hang on.
Get out of here.
Violence ahead.
A wet mop floor? A wet mop sign?
Violence
Floors ahead.
Might be wet. There's literally one that has a person laying down, elbow up with the bang on it, and another person hitting them with a bat.
That's what you needed to have like a people's elbow.
That means no fighting.
No, it says blunt force trauma warning.
How do you get warning for a blunt force? You can do that for anything. Your car door would be a blunt force trauma sticker.
We need
Josh.
that.
He's been hitting the fingers a few times.
Dude, I've smashed my fingers.
Why'd you break somebody's nose with your elbow, bro? That's ruthless.
Wrestling. I was wrestling.
Oh, you cheated.
Went to go put him in a headlock. No, I went to go put him in a headlock. Oh, I won. broke his nose, and he told me at the end of the match to put a warning sign on my elbow, so I did. Many years later, of course, but... All right, I'm going to end it with this. My final question, all right? And this one should be a little bit fun. Hopefully you guys don't get too nerdy, because then I'll fall asleep. Who wins in a fight? Jason Bourne or John Wick?
I think I'll have to go John Wick.
Here's my problem. When
I just answered it. I didn't give you a problem, okay? So remember that. This is us.
Which version of John Wick do we get? Because that
John
matters.
Wick is John Wick. Baba Yaga is what I'm talking about. Baba Yaga.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I've watched the movies enough times.
What you know him to be. What you know him and people describe him to be.
Sure.
The man who killed 3 people with a pencil.
Even on film, we've seen 2 John Wicks. And I will clarify. John Wick before he's excommunicated, John Wick after he's excommunicated. Because that alone makes a difference, in my opinion. Resources and resource management.
Okay. I would say
John
before
Wick's
then. That way he has all the resources. Bourne has no resources because he's got to stay hidden. So they can't catch him. He can't go to his resources.
Take the most badass version of each one and who's better.
The one that
Wick.
I would say the one before his wife died. After his dog died. How's that?
Yeah.
Who's the most
after dog
vengeful?
died, but not cut off by the Continental.
Episode 1, John Wick.
He wins.
Who wins?
He wins.
Cross the line.
1 and 2, John Wick wins. No question.
Specifically, John Wick 2.
3 and 4,
John Wick 2
still think John Wick wins, but I think it's a closer fight because I think Jason Bourne has access, can manage resources, and would be able to handle like international travel and stuff like that. That's the thing. Jason Bourne
is just more tech savvy, I think.
He's more tech savvy, but I think he's also like better stealth than John Wick is.
Andy can't remember his roots, but John Wick has them deep down inside of his gut. Like, that's just me. Like, I think that has a lot to say. Like, if you forgot some shit, like, your mind's not all there yet. But I think he murders Jason Bourne.
It's a closer
especially
fight
John
in
Wick
some
1
ways,
and 2.
but it's John Wick. It's John Wick.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
Everybody
But I thank everybody for listening to this long-ass episode of them talk about tattoos and video games.
I miss you guys. Glad to be back.
Too,
hopefully you'll be back.
Hopefully I'll be back
Hopefully
again.
Be back for episode 40. This is episode 39. We thank everybody for watching, and if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I know it's going to be hard after this long episode, but I do appreciate all you listeners. Let us know in the comments how we're doing with and without our +1. I mean, I think it's 50-50, but who knows?
No, it's definitely better with the +1.
Comments.
It's 99% with
it's
the
99
sure.
without, it's 100 with. All right?
Oh, I like that. I'll take that. That +1 makes that extra difference. 99 without, 100 with.
You got to carry the 1. But no, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all the socials. And we are on YouTube with the Chubby Buddies. I love you guys.
I love you too, guys. Have a great week.
Always.
Bye.